Ketu. Just hearing that name, well, it can evoke a strange sensation, can't it? Almost an unknown shiver in response to something really enigmatic.
Yeah.
It's not your typical planet, not some visible thing up there, but a force that, well, it touches the very core of our existence.
It really does.
Today, we're embarking on a deep dive into one of the most mysterious and honestly intense entities in Vedic astrology, Ketu. We're talking about something far more profound than your everyday planetary influence. It's like this powerful, unseen architect of transformation.
Right. Operating on a level that really challenges how we usually see reality.
Exactly. And our journey today, it's illuminated by insights from astrologer Tushar Shukla's really interesting article, Ketu, The Invisible Path to Liberation.
That's our guidepost for this.
Yeah. Our goal here is to try and unravel this powerful force to, truly understand what it signifies for anyone touched by its influence, because it promises both, well, ultimate freedom and some profound challenges.
And what's truly fascinating, I think, is how Shukla presents Ketu. It's not just some point to calculate on an astrological chart, right?
No, not at all.
It's framed as a direct gateway to deeper, often pretty uncomfortable truths. So throughout this deep dive, you'll discover its true nature, its impact on individuals, which can be genuinely terrifying at times, and what it ultimately offers on the path to spiritual liberation, which, in Sanskrit is moksha.
Moksha.
It's a journey into the unseen, really, a confrontation with the very fabric of illusion itself.
Okay, so to really grasp Ketu's essence, we kind of have to start by confronting its fundamental nature, which seems almost paradoxical.
Very much so.
Shukla starts by saying Ketu is no shining planet, it is a shadow. And then, even more profoundly, he calls it the door between life and death. What are the immediate implications of that? For something in the cosmos to exist just as a shadow, but holds such pivotal power, a doorway.
Well, what's fascinating there is that Ketu truly has no physical basis, no body reflecting light like the planets we see.
Right, it's invisible.
Exactly. It exists as this shadow, an energetic point, maybe a nodal intersection in celestial mechanics, but it's described as absolutely fundamental to spiritual progress. The source tells us it's the point without which sādhana.
Sādhana. That's spiritual practice.
Yeah, any disciplined spiritual practice, effort, striving towards a goal, it just remains incomplete without Ketu. So despite being intangible, it's an essential part of the equation. It acts as this profound doorway, specifically between life and death, which points to its role in these ultimate transformations of consciousness.
Okay, so if Ketu is this unseen energy, foundational for spiritual striving, how does it actually manifest its influence? Shukla uses this really striking metaphor.
The sword.
Yeah, the sword. Describing Ketu as a mysterious sword that ruthlessly cuts through attachment, illusion, bondage, and greed. I mean, that sounds quite violent for a spiritual process.
It does.
Does the article elaborate on how this cutting feels? Is it sudden, painful, or more like a slow erosion?
It's portrayed as completely uncompromising. Ketu doesn't, negotiate with your comfort levels or what you want.
No compromise.
None. The article explicitly says it either leads the native astray or pushes them towards attainment, which is siddhi, spiritual perfection, accomplishment.
So one extreme or the other?
Pretty much. There's no comfortable middle ground, no lukewarm experience. And its terrifying aspect, that comes precisely from this. It forces you into confronting the invisible.
Ah, the invisible again.
Yeah. It's not about what you can easily see, but what you can't. And that's where human fear often takes root, isn't it?
Definitely.
It's a confrontation that feels more like a deep internal rearrangement than, say, a gentle nudge.
And the source material really leans into that idea of the unseen, doesn't it? Saying Ketu places what ordinary people cannot see right before the native's eyes. It even mentions ghosts, spirits, invisible realms, paranormal experiences. Now, it's easy to dismiss that today, maybe as just folklore. Is Shukla suggesting these are always literal encounters? Or could there be a symbolic interpretation, like confronting your own unconscious fears, maybe? Hidden truths? Why is it considered so frightening?
That's a really good question to think about. While the article does seem to lean towards literal interpretations sometimes,
Okay.
the underlying reason why it's frightening holds true either way, literal or symbolic.
How so?
Because Ketu strips away that comforting veil of mundane reality. It doesn't just show you these hidden dimensions, it forces a confrontation with them, a profound one.
Right. No escaping it.
Exactly. It pushes you beyond your perceived reality, making you deal with the spiritual, the unseen, in a very direct, often really unsettling way. It challenges your very definition of what's real. It's an unavoidable unmasking, you could say.
Okay, so given something so intense, something that cuts and confronts like that, you might expect its influence to be just negative, right?
You might think so, yeah.
Yet the article reveals Ketu's incredible duality, this deep paradox. It's not just a taker, it's a giver too, but in the most, well, bewildering ways. What does that paradox mean for someone experiencing it?
It truly is a paradox, and it really speaks to Ketu's complex purpose. The article lists this fascinating range of contrasting gifts and punishments.
Like what?
Well, it can bestow immense wealth, but just as easily lead straight to bankruptcy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Extremes again.
Totally.
Oh.
It offers deep knowledge, profound insights, yet it can just as easily plunge you into deep illusion, delusion even.
Knowledge and delusion. Okay.
You might receive blessings from siddhas, these highly advanced spiritual masters.
Right, the accomplished yogis.
Yeah. But at the same time, you could be facing intense conspiracies from enemies.
Yeah.
And maybe the most profound duality. It can guide you towards salvation, moksha, or push you towards madness.
Goodness, that's quite the tightrope.
It is. And this duality isn't random. It highlights the knife-edge balance of its influence. It shows that its gifts are often inseparable from its challenges. It's like a constant test of your inner resolve, your detachment.
And the article uses this really vivid analogy for this unpredictable force. Ketu's movement is like a serpent, slow, mysterious, and suddenly striking.
That serpent imagery is powerful.
It is, and it adds that Ketu never allows the native peace and constantly takes something away, specifically to cut attachment. That imagery, it's almost poetic in its harshness, the subtle, creeping influence that can just strike. What's the deeper purpose behind this relentless, almost cruel taking away?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, that serpentine action, slow, mysterious, then suddenly stripping things away, it serves a singular, profound goal.
Which
Ketu forces the soul to face naked truth. How? By methodically stripping away illusions and attachments. The article uses the Sanskrit term moha here, which is more than just attachment. It's like a deep delusion. An infatuation with worldly things that obscures your true spiritual nature leads to ignorance, suffering.
Okay, so it's a deeper kind of blindness.
Exactly. So the constant taking away isn't just arbitrary suffering. It's a deliberate, though, often painful process of purification. It's designed to bring you closer to your true essence, free from worldly distractions, free from the illusions that bind you. It forces a complete spiritual house cleaning, you might say.
A spiritual house cleaning. Okay, so if Ketu is so intensely focused on stripping away these illusions, what happens when it directly influences someone? Particularly a Ketu Lagna Jataka, as the source mentioned.
Oh yes, the Ketu Lagna Jataka.
It's just for clarity, that's someone born with Ketu in the first house of their birth chart, right? The house representing the self.
That's right, the ascendant, the self, personality, life direction.
So having Ketu there sounds like it could be profoundly isolating.
It often is, yes. The impact described is that Ketu separates the native from ordinary society. They might be physically in a crowd, but they don't feel part of it.
Detached.
Deeply detached, often an observer. And it's not necessarily a conscious choice, more an innate disposition. They experience this profound emptiness in worldly pleasures.
Emptiness. In what kinds of pleasures?
Things that satisfy most people: indulgence, alcohol, romance, luxury. For them, it just feels hollow, meaningless. It's like a forced disenchantment with the material world.
Wow. And it sounds like this detachment isn't just external, there's a powerful inner pull, too.
Yes, exactly.
The article describes an invisible pull towards penance, meditation, and mystery. It's almost like an involuntary spiritual awakening. They don't choose it, but they're just drawn in, even as the world feels empty.
Precisely.
So, for someone going through that, how do you navigate such intense detachment without just checking out of life completely? How do you function when everything feels like it's being stripped away?
That's the challenge, isn't it? This inner pull signals a powerful drive towards spiritual pursuits. But the path isn't easy. Ketu imposes the harshest tests.
Harshest tests.
Like what?
Often through very real experiences. Challenges from enemies, getting estranged from family, sudden inexplicable loss. Things that really hit hard.
Ooh.
But, and this is crucial, the source clarifies the singular purpose behind all these trials to show the native that nothing in this world is permanent.
Ah, the lesson of impermanence.
Exactly. So navigating it requires a conscious effort to find meaning beyond the ephemeral. It's not necessarily about abandoning the world, but transforming your relationship to it. Understanding that life happens here, yes, but true peace is internal, beyond attachment. It's a tough lesson in non-possessiveness.
The very tough lesson. Okay, the journey with Ketu gets even more intriguing because Shukla says Ketu is actually the gateway to invisible powers.
This is where it gets really mystical. It sounds like something straight out of fantasy, doesn't it? But it's presented as a real possibility, a grace for the sincere seeker. What kind of powers are we talking about?
It really does delve into the mystical, connecting the spiritual path to extraordinary abilities.
The source lists specific grace Ketu can bestow on a sincere seeker.
Okay.
Things like vision of the future, the ability to read minds,
Whoa.
contact with spirits, paranormal entities, even communication with the unseen. These aren't just subtle intuitions. They're described as direct, profound abilities, transcending normal perception.
That's incredible. It opens up whole other realms.
A profound expansion of awareness, yes, sensory and spiritual.
There's always a but, isn't there? There's a huge catch here. The article gives a critical warning. If the seeker's intention is impure, these very powers become the cause of their destruction.
Yes. It's a very serious caveat.
It is.
Yeah.
So what's the profound responsibility that comes with accessing these realms, these powers? Why is purity of intention so absolutely vital? This is where that ethical dilemma really comes in. And the source emphasizes the vital importance of pure intention. It's not just about gaining power, you see. Right. It's about the profound responsibility that comes with accessing the unseen, with peering behind that veil. The source strongly implies these powers aren't for selfish gain, manipulation, or worldly advantage.
So if misused...
If misused, yeah. If driven by ego, greed, malice, they can backfire dramatically, leading to the seeker's downfall, not their liberation.
Wow.
It's a powerful reminder that spiritual gifts carry significant moral obligations. They demand a level of selflessness, integrity that, frankly, few might truly achieve.
That makes sense. Okay, we've journeyed through Ketu's shadows, its bewildering paradoxes, its challenging effects, cutting through illusions, exposing the unseen. Now we reach what Shukla calls the ultimate secret.
The final revelation.
The final, most profound revelation in the article. The deepest core of Ketu's purpose. What does this ultimate secret reveal about the path to truth?
This is really the culmination of Ketu's terrifying path to naked truth. The source paints a very stark picture.
How stark?
Stark as in no family, no wealth, no friends, no support there. It's a state of absolute divestment.
Yeah.
All worldly crutches just gone.
Nothing left?
All that remains is the individual soul itself. And then profoundly the void beyond the soul. It speaks to an ultimate solitude, an emptiness far beyond anything we normally comprehend. A space stripped of all external identifiers, even the internal ones we cling to.
And that void, that emptiness is described as the door to salvation, moksha.
That's what it says.
It sounds like the ultimate stripping away, almost unbearable. Losing everything, confronting pure emptiness, that's a daunting prospect.
So it's the ultimate result of this apparently destructive process.
Is the ultimate confrontation, yes. And the source outlines the full, brutal process Ketu facilitates. Ketu will make you cry, break you, make you fall, humiliate you, take everything away.
Oh, goodness.
It's a sequence describing a complete dismantling. Ego, worldly identity, all attachments, gone. But there's a point to it.
Yes. However destructive it seems, this path has an extraordinary liberating outcome. It leads to a place where even death is defeated.
Beyond death itself.
It implies that through this profound stripping away, you transcend the cycle of birth and death, achieve true liberation, an understanding of existence that goes beyond the transient. It's the ultimate emptying to achieve ultimate fullness, paradoxically.
So this invisible force, Ketu, which both attracts and frightens us, right, in equal measure.
Absolutely.
It ultimately leads beyond fear, beyond the void, to the light of immortality. And the article says this very combination, the fear and the attraction, completes the seeker's fire. That's a powerful, almost alchemical conclusion. How does that paradoxical interplay serve as the essential catalyst?
It perfectly summarizes Ketu's paradoxical but ultimately essential role. The fear, it instills the dread of the unknown, of losing the familiar, and the attraction, it generates that magnetic pull towards deeper truths, liberation. Yeah. They aren't impediments. They're presented as fundamental, essential catalysts for the seeker's ultimate spiritual refinement, their liberation.
So you need both the fear and the attraction.
It seems so. It's through facing the terror of the void, enduring the stripping away of everything, that the spiritual fire of the seeker is fully ignited, bred to perfection. It leads to a state beyond the transient, into the immortal. This transformative heat just burns away all the impurities.
We've truly taken a deep dive today, haven't we? into the profound, often startling world of Ketu, guided by Tushar Shukla's powerful insights.
We really have.
And it's clear this isn't just some astrological point. It's a powerful, transformative force, described as ruthlessly cutting through illusions, leading you to ultimate truth, even if that truth is initially terrifying in its darkness.
Yeah, and if we connect this to the bigger picture, Ketu really represents a challenging but potentially incredibly liberating journey. It demands facing uncomfortable truths about ourselves, about reality.
Letting go.
Letting go of so many attachments that define our worldly lives. And ultimately, embracing the void to reach a state beyond mortality. It completely redefines what wealth or peace or even life truly mean.
Which raises, I think, an important question for you, our listener. If the path to true liberation, to really understanding your soul and that void beyond it, requires such intense stripping away, losing everything familiar, confronting the invisible, enduring immense hardship, would you be willing to walk that invisible path?
Something to ponder.
Definitely something to think about. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We hope this has given you plenty to think about. Until next time.